Oh boy, now we have on our screen today NBC News, my favorite news of all time. All right, that was a joke. Anyway, they're talking about the polls, and you know, I need to keep up. I got so much going on. I'm telling you, I got so much going on. So I want to hear what they have to say about the polls, because they're talking about some numbers here that are like, whoa. You would think with all the stuff that's going on with Donald Trump, he will be losing by now. That's not the case. I mean, the man is just destroying. Let's take a listen to this and share some thoughts at the end.
Good Sunday morning. We begin with our brand new NBC News poll, which brings more warning signs for President Biden and his reelection campaign. One of our pollsters tells us we are looking at a, quote, presidency in peril. With the general election just 9 months away, President Biden has declined on every measure since 2020, is struggling with key elements of his base, and now trails former President Donald Trump by wide margins on the issues voters say are most important to them. Joining me now to take us through the numbers is national political correspondent Steve Kornacki. Steve, these are some truly stunning numbers.
They really are, Kristen. And let's just start with the bottom line. When you ask folks, hey, if it's the general election and it's Trump versus Biden, in our poll, Donald Trump now leads Joe Biden by 5 points. Compare that to the last time we polled back in November. Trump was ahead then, but it was only by 2 points. And it's even more significant when you look at it this way. Over time, we have been testing for 5 years now, going back to 2019, a Biden-Trump matchup. Remember, 2019, 2020, Joe Biden led. He led big in every single one of our polls. For the first time in November, Donald Trump polled ahead in our poll, and now at 5 points, this is the biggest lead NBC has ever had in 16 polls for Donald Trump over.
Wow, November is an actual very interesting day, because in October was the Hamas attack on Israel. In November, the numbers began to drastically fall for Biden. Why? Because the way the Biden administration responded in support of Israel, in spite of what's going on in Palestine. And then let me tell you, man, this stuff is drastic, boy. I said no more bloodshed. That's where I position myself. I am not picking another class anymore, because I realize there is something behind this for the purpose of annihilating human beings. And it doesn't matter what their culture and religion is. And this is where I position myself. However, I'm telling you this. This is when the Achilles heel of the Democratic Party began to be exposed, because what you noticed with the Hamas and the Israel attack, from that point forward, the Democrats started losing votes. And ever since, things have never been the same. And I don't think it's just that. And I think there's other things going on as well. I think Biden's falling apart. I think they're going to address some of this. But I'm just telling you, the Hamas and Israel and Palestine conflict is one of the main reasons why this is going on. Joe
Biden, and of course, undergirding all of this is this question of, he is the incumbent, Joe Biden. We ask voters, what do you think of the job he's doing? And look at that, Kristen, 37% approve and now 60% disapprove.
And we should say that.
I would like to know who these 37% are. No disrespect. I think they probably don't even know anything about politics. They just click the button, you know. It could be elderlies and so on, right? Because it's true. A lot of elderly people are just like, I don't know. I don't care. Yeah, whatever. But the 60% of those people were saying, we have a problem.
That is the lowest approval rating since former President George W. Bush's second term.
Yeah, and it's put that in further context, too. Bush in his second term wasn't running for re-election. Yeah. Here's the presidents who were running for re-election in our poll starting their re-election year. What was their approval rating? Bush was over 50. He won. Obama was almost at 50. He won. Trump 4 years ago was 46. He lost. Look how low Biden's number is compared to those predecessors at this point.
Their number's all much bigger than President Biden.
It shows you the improvement Biden has to make here in the coming months. The issues that are driving this, too, the economy, no surprise, we've been talking about it, but look at that advantage for Trump, 22 points. Wow. And securing the border here, folks say very...
Oh, this is drastic. Oh, there goes another issue. The economy, the border problem. Yeah. I mean, the media has been denying these things. We've talked about them on our channel. We've mentioned these things. It's crazy. It's like they running at the end of the race when everybody done celebrating, the entire stadium is emptied. And now they're coming and saying, yeah, we made it to the finish line. excuse me, the race is over. We have been saying, listen, man, the way this looks like, the way the economy is, the border, this stuff is going to destroy the Democratic Party. And even the blacks are changing their perspective. When you see black people or starting talking about Donald Trump in favor of Trump, this is a sign that, damns, you done. You done.
Very important, Trump with a 35-point advantage.
The economy is so striking, Steve, because jobs are up, inflation is down. Voters aren't giving him credit for that, clearly.
Yeah, there are.
She said jobs are up. Say that again.
Jobs are up, inflation is down.
Inflation is down, and down from which number? It's been so bad. Even when it went down, we can't even tell the difference anyway, because we've already lost and our wages are not maintaining with the supposed down of the inflation. Jobs are up. What jobs? The same jobs that were shut down. You shut down the economy and you open it back up and you said, oh, we created jobs. Even if you had created a few jobs, you were supposed to create jobs anyway as a president. So it's not a shocker. But the point is, I don't know. This is the thing. It's like you're peeing on our legs and you're telling us it's raining. We can look at that and say, no, but I go to the grocery store. I know I'm losing money. I looked at my bank this morning. I said, Lord, have mercy. I need a miracle because it doesn't look good. Okay? When all your credit cards are maxed out and you are in the red, I can't go anywhere because I can't put gas in the tank. That's just bad. That's bad to hear this from your boy, but it's true. This happens under whose economy? Biden's economy. I never had this issue under Trump. Oh, no. It was a plus, a big plus. We were in the black, baby. We were doing great, and that's not a lie. Not lately.
Voters aren't giving him credit for that, clearly.
Yeah, there are a couple areas in here, I think, where Democrats see potential opportunities to grow Biden's support. Certainly, they are hoping the economy, folks change their perceptions of it and start rewarding Biden for it. That's what they're hoping, certainly. How about this, though? Also cautionary for the White House. Go back 4 years ago. There was two folks in their 70s running Biden versus Trump. And we asked then, do the candidates have the necessary physical, mental capacity? It was about even, 41-38. Now, you ask it, 46% say that Donald Trump does, just 23% when it comes to Joe Biden. And think of one of the central themes of Biden's campaign in 2020. He said he'd be competent. He said he'd be effective. Folks said they believed that in our poll in 2020. One of the big reasons Trump lost, but now complete, total reversal. 48% say Trump competent and effective. Barely a third say that for Biden.
That's right. He said he was going to bring stability back to the White House.
And now he's the incumbent, and folks are maybe looking at him and maybe looking at Trump as not the incumbent in a different light here. Just a couple other things to get through. On the foreign policy, again, Israel, Hamas, center stage in the in the world picture right now. Overall, big disapproval for Biden on foreign policy, particularly on Israel, Hamas. That's particularly acute among the youngest voters, 18 to 34-year-olds.
There you go. This is where you lost them.
Them tied, Trump versus Biden, and a lot of those Biden voters, 18 to 34, they say they don't like Biden. They just don't like Trump more.
It's this type of erosion among these key groups that really worries Democrats.
And it is the area, too, we say, where Democrats think there might be opportunity. They think they can get more young voters motivated to vote, maybe not by being for Biden, but by being against Trump.
But don't forget about the group of people that are independent who haven't said a thing yet. And don't forget about a lot of people who are going to vote for Trump who are afraid of coming out and speaking about this. So there's a lot of discrepancies and nuances that are not part of this poll. And I don't think you have a full picture here. But the reality is the average American person is looking at Joe Biden. They're like, there is no way. There is no way we're going to vote for this guy again. This is no way.
This is one area they think they can improve on and maybe make this race a little different. But the other one to key in on, too, independents. Trump looked at that with a 19-point advantage. Also, keep in mind, that shows you a lot of independents look very open to potentially another choice if something were to emerge. And also, among white voters, Trump with a big lead. Black voters, Biden with a big lead. But want to point this one out.
I mean, black people, God, goodness. Well, I mean, when are we going to wake up? Like, we still voting Democrats? Like, we the only group that's doing stuff like this. Just such a bad look. And the Democratic policies are killing our neighborhoods. I can tell these are all black women. I'm just joking. The average black man is like, nah, we out. Give us Trump. But I think a lot of black women still voting for Trump. They don't care. They don't care. They're so sensitive. They can't. They don't like the speech of Trump, so they just get emotional. Anyway, the Hispanic groups have changed in their perspective. The whites have changed their, but the blacks are saying, "Oh yeah, we're gonna hang with Biden." This is crazy, man. What has Biden done for you that you love him so much? That's just wild to me.
Hispanic voters.
Wow.
Trump with a 1-point advantage. We've been asking, would those gains he made 4 years ago stick? Our polls suggest they certainly have, and they've maybe grown. And we did ask this question, Kristen. If one of these cases this year ends in a conviction, a felony conviction for former President Trump, would that change your vote? 45% said that in that scenario, they vote for Biden. 43% for Trump. This is also something the Biden campaign obviously hoping for, although there's a long history in polling of asking folks about
So the goal is to make sure they lock up Trump. That's the goal right now. The goal is to lock him up by any means necessary. And they're gonna use the lawfare, weaponize the law as much as possible to put him behind bars, because once he goes behind bars, hey, Biden wins. Or Nikki Haley, you know. It's just very obvious what's going on here. Very obvious what's going on here. I'm telling you, this should not happen. By any means, it should not be allowed to happen. Oh, man, we're about to see some crazy, drastic change happening in politics. I mean, this year is going to really turn upside down. I don't know how this thing is going to end, friends. I'm sitting back reading my Bible and I'm praying. I said, Lord, have your way. Let your will be done. Well, I know who I'm voting for, and I know who I'm not voting for.
Hypotheticals and them actually reacting a little differently when it actually happens.
A little bit of a game changer, but still incredibly close.
Very.
Steve Kornacki, thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
Anyway, that was a great one. All right, I appreciate that. Where do you make your position, your stand? I mean, it's very obvious who's going to win. If we have a fair election, right? If there is still something called election integrity, if that still exists. But I don't necessarily know if I can trust that system anymore. I mean, I don't even think, even if you vote for Trump, that's a better candidate. But I think a lot of the others, Nikki Haley and so on, I'm not sure if Robert Kennedy Jr. is, I mean, he's kind of doing good. But being a third-party candidate, I'm not necessarily sure how that's going to go. But he's a very interesting guy, to be honest with you. But I mean, give me some Trump. I love me some Donald Trump, man. Because I feel like there's some cleanup that needs to be done yet, and the man has to be given another chance to address the naysayers and deal with the issues that were once presented in, you know, in the way he was dealt with as a man. I think it's not so much for revenge. I think there's a lot of cleanup that could be done, and I think it can actually help fixing the economy, because Donald Trump uses common sense. Common sense is no longer common in a society where we are told we must go with our feelings and emotions and everything else, when it's very obvious who should be president, who has done a better job in the record, and it proves speak for itself. But we are being told to overlook all of that. But I refuse to be among that class. Anyway, having said that, I want to hear your thought and perspective. Where do you position yourself? Where do you position yourself? Share your thought and perspective with me. I want to hear from you. If you enjoyed today's video, make sure you like and subscribe to the page. Click the bell icon for more. You know, YouTube hasn't been friendly to your boy. Demonetize the channel, we still don't know why. So stand with us. We have links in the description below where you can support us as well. Patreon is one of the best ways to go. But there's other ways you can stand with us, and you can watch and have early access to videos that other people will not have access to. So anyway, I'm going to leave a link to a number of videos on the side here on my left. I'm going to leave some more of my playlists. And on the other side to my right, I'm going to let YouTube recommend a video that best fits your description and your liking according to the algorithm. So share your thought and perspective with me at the end. Let's stay in touch. If you have any question, I have my information below. Let's talk. Have a good one. Bye.